What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and this is Ultrazilla Live, not the Ultra Z News. I pressed the wrong button. Same setup, right? But here we are on the day of the release in the US and many places of Godzilla vs. Kong. As it says in the banner below, as I stated in my title and description, there will be spoilers in this live stream. If you have not seen Godzilla vs. Kong yet, don't watch unless you want it spoiled, because I'm going to talk about everything about these guys, Godzilla, Kong, and even this dude, Mecha Godzilla. That's right, my zillions. If you didn't know, Mecha Godzilla is in this movie. There you go. The spoiler of all spoilers. If you didn't know yet, he's in this movie. It's in this movie. This dude right here hanging out on my Yeti mic, it's good for something, is in this movie. So let's get that spoiler right out of the way. I've said it before on like Ultra Z Newses and stuff, but it's official. It's been official for a while, but like now that the movie's out, really could freely talk about it. And I'm doing this live stream because I really want to talk. I don't really talk about movies, right? But I do want to talk about the toys we've gotten so far, the toys we are gonna be getting, and how that ties into like what we possibly could get down the road, not just from the toys but from the Monsterverse itself. So it's a little bit of everything, because that's how I roll here. I kind of like to make sure I stay on brand, meaning I'm a toy channel. I want to talk about toys, right? And yes, right now I'm rocking the Team Godzilla shirt here, I guess. But it is what it is. I actually really love Kong. Kong was probably, I might say is my first love with monsters, because I remember Kong from when I was, a little kid, same as Godzilla. So they go hand in hand with me. So this was a big movie for me to see it. I saw it on HBO Max because I'm just not ready to go to a movie theater yet. Like, it's one of those things. I never personally liked going to the movies. Well, I did, but in my older age, I just kind of fell out of love with going to the movies. And now I'm just not sure if I'll go back to the movies eventually, because I want to take my son to the movies, But for me personally, HBO Max, man, that was very, very good. Got up this morning, had my coffee, took my coffee with me to, the living room with my wife, my kid. We just lounged and we watched GVK for the first time. And then, while I was doing some work a little bit later in the afternoon, I just popped it on in the background again, watched it again, sort of, because it's a cool movie. I can say that. It's definitely a fun movie. Now, if you liked King of the Monsters, I feel like it's sort of in that vein, right? Like, it's got that fun aspect to the whole Monsterverse, like, I think the first Godzilla movie tried to treat it a little more serious. Of 2014, Kong Skull Island was even more serious and more adult, I should say. And then King of the Monsters kind of dialed it back a little bit. It was more like Showa era type of stuff. And this, I would say, is along those lines as well. They tried to keep it fun, which is good. I like that. I personally like that. Hello, folks in the chat so far. Good to see you guys. Feel free to ask me any questions along the way, whether it's about the movie, about the toys, whatever you want. But, like, there's aspects of this movie that I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit unsure of. They leave a lot out. There's a lot that's missing in this movie. Like, how did they get Kong transported? Yes, they have him sedated. How? It was very like just Here you are. You're on a boat. It just starts, and you know what? That's good too. There's something to be said about that. It just jumps right into things. You see Kong right from the first shot of the movie, and I think that's kind of good. Like, and let's be clear here, right now. This is King Kong's movie, not King Kong. Sorry, Kong's movie. For sure. This is a Kong movie. Godzilla fans, you're gonna have to accept it. Really, Godzilla does play second fiddle here, all the way through. Like, Kong is the star of the movie. If there's a star of the movie, and I'm not talking human characters because they all were secondary. Kong is definitely the star of the movie. Not only because he gets the most screen time of probably anyone. Definitely of Godzilla. Between him and Godzilla, I think he definitely gets more screen time. I did not time it, so don't hold me to that. However, not only that, I feel like he's kind of the best actor in the movie. They really did a great job on the animation of Kong. He really emotes well, and he looks fantastic, like an excellent Kong, like way better than Kong Skull Island even, because his interaction with people is all the more prominent, and I think that's amazing. I really do. I think they treated him perfectly, and Kong Skull Island's a weird movie for me because I was a little taken back by how adult themed it was. It was like a horror movie in a way, and gory, and it kind of took me out of the action a little bit. However, I feel like this movie, which is not my type of movie, this movie does a better job of keeping me engrossed with Kong, and I think that is pretty awesome in my opinion. They did a really good job. I really cared about Kong all throughout the whole movie. You feel for this Titan, you really do, and I think that's amazing. An amazing job that they did. So kudos to all involved with that, because Kong is just an amazingly done Titan, and an amazingly acted character. So I really enjoyed it, and I think he has an amazing journey through this movie where you really get on board with it. He goes into the Hollow Earth because he thinks maybe his family's down there, and that's incredible. That's very well done. The scene where the little girl tells him that and gets him, her name I believe is Gia, gets him to go down is really great. The way they make him emote is fantastic. So I'm really impressed with Kong. It's just incredible, incredibly done, and I just loved Kong in this movie, and it really it cemented me as a fan of this particular Kong more so than his own first movie did, if that makes any sense, guys. Hey folks, I see some more folks are in the chat, and I welcome you. But there's Kong, there's Godzilla, and Godzilla has a very interesting role, and I give him also kudos for the little swerve of making us possibly think that maybe it's not really Godzilla from the trailers, maybe that's Mecha Godzilla, but that's kind of squashed pretty soon. But in that early going of the movie, you're like, what's going on here? But that's squashed pretty soon, and I'm kind of glad in a way, because you kind of just get past that and just, okay, that's not part of the plot, so let's just move past why is Godzilla doing this. But it's very weird because while I get that Godzilla is looking for actually Mechagodzilla. Like, it's weird to me that, like, why is he hurting people? You know, like, not that but he, you know, like the easy answer there is he's just a giant kaiju titan, and you know, unfortunately, bad things happen when something like that is on Rampage. And you know, the people working for the company that's making Mechagodzilla, like, they're at fault, right? Like, so like he has like no remorse in a way. And that is an interesting aspect of it. It makes you realize that Godzilla is really like, he's less on our side and like more like just he has a mission, you know, like he has a purpose in life and in this monsterverse, and that is to eliminate any contenders to his throne, whether it's Kong or whether it's Mechagodzilla. Which brings me to that interesting aspect of Skull Island is totally enclosed now, which is a great way. I thought it was a great way to say, why didn't Godzilla attack Kong sooner? You know, like that was perfect in my opinion. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. You answered one of my questions right out of the gate, and I thank you for that. That was very, very cool because it didn't make sense to me. Like, if Kong is an Alpha Titan, like, why wasn't he attacked sooner? And why wasn't Kong affected by Ghidorah's call and Godzilla's later? You know what I'm saying? So that was really well done and a great idea. So I do appreciate that that happened. You know, like, that was amazing. So yeah, good things there. I do enjoy those little aspects, you know, of like understanding, you know, what has been going on in the Monsterverse and like, you know, addressing it. I thought Godzilla looked fantastic as well. Like, you know, they obviously have upped the game even more with the animation of Godzilla, because of, you know, it's just, you want to be able to progress, and he just looks better and better. I don't want him to look any better than this because it's just too detailed in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that's a little bit too much at times. Like, you see like every pore, and he comes off way more animalistic, you know, than Kong does. So that there's a little bit, you're disconnected a little bit more here with Godzilla, and that's done on purpose, obviously, because you really, their goal was to connect us to Kong. I'm gonna have some tea. So in that regard, I guess it's done well. But you know, Godzilla's been the hero of 2 movies, and to see him here as this like semi-antagonist for most of the movie, you know, like it's very interesting and odd. And you know, by the end, your focus is no longer really on Godzilla, and you're really just wondering what Kong is doing because of the way Godzilla was presented throughout. It's interesting, you know, but it takes away a little bit from Godzilla. Overall, I don't mind that because, you know what? I think this was the proper way to do it. King Kong, the way they made him, is a very, very good protagonist for this movie. And it makes sense. It's his movie, like I said. And which is interesting because the characters are, you know, from Godzilla mostly. You got Godzilla and, you know, Mechagodzilla here. And let's talk about Mechagodzilla. It is amazing. I loved Mechagodzilla in this movie. It looked fantastic. The idea behind it is very Pacific Rim. And, you know, Pacific Rim is part of Legendary. So it makes you think, if they rebooted the Pacific Rim movie franchise, this is a good way to start it, right? Because and it makes more sense. So either that or all of these events happen prior to Pacific Rim. But I don't think so. I really think it's more like if you're going to tie them together at any point, this is a good way to do it because they had Ghidorah's head. They used a pilot inside Ghidorah's head to mentally connect, telepathically connect to Mechagodzilla to control it. That is the Jaeger program. Like, that is exactly what they did. And they, that could be a good way to have to jumpstart the Jaeger program. And it would make sense in this universe if you rebooted Pacific Rim as part of the Monsterverse. I think it would be a fascinating and awesome idea to do it. A separate Pacific Rim, continuity where you could do that. But getting back to Mechagodzilla, I think it looked amazing. I can't wait to see like a proper Mechagodzilla toy because, it should look fantastic if SH Monster Arts gets their hands on it soon. Because it looks fantastic in the movie, like really like oily and dirty. I love that. I loved it. It looks so good. Excuse me. Because I just think it's very well done, and it just looked amazing on screen, and it did some amazing things from its like opening scene where like it just totally destroys a skull crawler. I think that was an amazing scene, and I just like the way they did Mechagodzilla and how they did it. And it's basically Mechagodzilla controlled by King Ghidorah now, isn't it? So I thought that was an interesting aspect of this. Mechagodzilla ends up being King Ghidorah's like way to revenge itself, and at the very end of this, which is fascinating to tie that all together. I loved that idea. What's up, Luminous? What's up, Muteki? What's up, guys? Welcome. Everybody else, welcome. Roderick, Suban, Game Boy. Everybody before who is here? Carlos, Godzilla 2000 Millennium, Junji, like everybody that was here way earlier that stopped by. Welcome to the stream. Let's see what Muteki has to say. Hey, Sal, saw the movie. Slightly disappointed with the plot. Nice fights, though. The fights were incredible. I loved it. Like really well choreographed. All of them. I thought they were really good. I mean, I like that there was like these little small things, skirmishes as well. Like, Kong versus the Warbats was a cool, like simple, easy fight. Again, that Mechagodzilla versus Skullcrawler thing went really, really quick, but I enjoy. I wish there was a little bit more to that. That would have been so cool. But you know what? It did a good job, saying that Mechagodzilla is super, super powerful. And he's big. Did you notice? He's bigger than both Kong and Godzilla, which was awesome. I loved it. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense with this Playmates toys. And this is the first time I'm talking toys, really. Well, that second time. But if you got the Playmates toys 6-inch Mechagodzilla, and the Kong and the Godzilla, you might have noticed that he is bigger than those two figures, and now it makes sense. They actually scaled it well. So how about that? That's pretty cool. I like this Mechagodzilla. He's pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. So Softies asked to check her plants. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife. Luminous wants to know, was Ultrazilla Jr. happy with it? He was. I think he liked it a lot, actually. So that's pretty cool. And he was playing with the toys ever since, and which is nice. The big ones that we had on our Instagram pics and the Facebook pics. Yeah, like it was cool to watch it this morning with them, and just in the comfort of our own home. Very, very nice. I do I did dig that. I thought that was very cool. But the fights were amazing. Like, again, like well choreographed, like nicely lit. You know, for the most part, I saw everything. Actually, this morning was funny because, you know, it was very sunny and, you know, we had a glare on the TV. So there was parts where I was like, I'm still struggling with some of these scenes. But I could see everything really, you know, like, and when I played it back again, the second time, I was able to see everything pretty clear. And man, that Hong Kong scene is just gorgeous. What a great choice, because of the way those buildings are lit there is just like perfect, you know, like so cool. It just like lent itself so well to that that fight. It just added to it so much. So I liked it. One thing Muteki said here that I want to talk about was the actual overall plot. You know, it's like King of the Monsters. I think it's a point A to point B type of plot, you know, and you know, with two parallel stories though in this one, where one is Team Godzilla trying to clear Godzilla, right? And Team Kong with Kong, which I thought was a very interesting thing. You know, it's Godzilla versus Kong, so there was two separate stories going on, and I'm really glad Madison had a big role in this. I was very unsure how they would treat that, and I was very happy with that because I really liked that character. I thought she was great in, you know, that second movie, that King of the Monsters movie. I liked her. I like that movie. You know, King of the Monsters is, full disclosure, is still my favorite of these movies, and I know a lot of people don't like it, and, you know, whatever. You know, like, that is my, you know, I enjoy that movie, and the way they did that one. It's silly. There's a lot of stupid dialogue, but it moves, and I absolutely love it. You know, like, so King of the Monsters still, for me, is my personal favorite of all of them, of the Monsterverse. But this one is probably second now, and I really do dig it. I think it's pretty cool, but there was things missing. You know, I mentioned earlier, like, you know, Kong on the boat, how they got him on the boat, how they got him on, you know, like, how they lifted him. You know, like, how are they sedating him anyway? They should have said something about berries. They should have said something about berries. That would have been really cool. There's so many little missed opportunities, I felt, for like little awesome like Easter eggs. You know, like you know, like I wish there was a little bit more, you know, with that. But, you know, like, that said, I still enjoyed it, right? Like, I you know, I have things to say, but I did enjoy it, and I just want to make sure you guys understand that. You know, like, there are like little points where, you know, where that happens, but, you know, overall, I liked it. You know, there's no doubt about it. The fights are so good, and it's just a fun movie. I gotta say though, like, the final battle, and you guys will know what I'm talking about, is watch is it's so a WWE booked like triple threat match, right? So in WWE, they have a habit of, like, you know, if they don't want two guys to lose, they'll always add in a third guy to make him take the fall. So it protects the two guys they're trying to protect most, right? So we're going to talk about the final battle now. And again, spoilers, you've been warned many times. In the final battle, Godzilla does beat Kong. However, then Kong beats Mechagodzilla, right? With a little tag help there. But it's Kong that does the final beatdown. So there's this mutual acknowledgement that, like, they both did it. And they both won. Like, so it's one of those things where, like, I think it's a good way to go about it in this movie. because it protected both Kong and Godzilla for Mechagodzilla to be the one that took the fall. And I really liked that. I thought it was good. It made it like, okay, Godzilla won the battle, but because Kong didn't die and he helped them, and he's the one that defeated Mechagodzilla, he earned all of Godzilla's respect. And I think he earned Godzilla's respect prior because Godzilla didn't finish him off. So I think Godzilla felt like he was about to die anyway, but he left him. And I think that's a good way to go, guys. I think they did a really good job with that. That, in my opinion, was very, very cool. But it just shows you how much this was a Kong movie and not a Godzilla movie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I think it's still good. It's still a great entry into the Monsterverse. I really liked it. I thought the music could have been better, in my opinion. I thought it was like lacking. The music in King of the Monsters was spectacular, with like little nods everywhere. I didn't feel that here, and the music to me got lost in a lot of spots. Maybe I'll like it in time, but it didn't really do it for me in this movie. I just thought it was a little bit boring, just very, I don't know, very boring, I gotta say. Yes, true. They didn't interact with Godzilla. However, they were Team Godzilla because they were trying to clear Godzilla of any, wrongdoing here, or trying to figure out what exactly was going on. So, I think in those regards, they were like, Madison's team were like, that was Team Godzilla. They were on Godzilla's side. So I don't know. I think that was handled well. I thought the bad guys were garbage in a way. The main bad dude, he's very generic. His daughter is very generic. I was interested in Serizawa Jr., but like another thing that just kind of fell by the wayside. Like, why bother calling him Serizawa if you never acknowledge who he is in the movie? Right? Like, I thought that was a very strange thing. There's no motivation given here. There's nothing. He's just another character named Serizawa, and you're kind of left like going, huh? Like, why? Like, it was a weird thing to me. That was one thing I didn't like. That was one thing on second viewing I was trying to look for, because I was like, did I miss something here? But no, it's not in this movie. Like it's not in this movie at all. And I just don't get why bother doing it. Like, why bother calling him the character? Like, if you're not going to address it at all. It was so strange. Nobody addresses it. Like, Kyle Chandler's character is really like thrown away here too. Like, why bother having him in there? He's just a face after being like the main character in the next movie. And that's one of those things that this whole franchise has bothered me about. There's no like each movie has gone out of its way to create extra characters, new characters. Like, each director has put in his stamp on it. And instead of trying to bring everybody together a little bit better, I don't know. Like, I would have liked to see Brody at some point again through these movies. Like, somewhere. It just, I don't know. Like, there should have been more continuity between the characters as we went along, I think. It's just, the focus went from one set of main characters to the next, to the next, to the next. And I think that's one of the problems. A lot of folks who have complained about like the human characters, is what the complaint is. Like maybe even if they don't know it, it's the fact that through these movies, we've had to get used to new characters every time. Sure, there is spillover characters, but the main characters of each movie, except for Madison here, but she's kind of still secondary to that main team. Like, you've had to get used to them over and over again. And when you have to pay attention to the monsters, like, and give that story, you know, the meat of this movie, of all of these movies, like, it's hard to do. So whenever I hear people complaining about the human characters being one-dimensional or throwaway, whatever, that's why. That's why, because there's, you know, we've had to jumpstart all of these yet again, except for these, you know, background characters. It's why we loved Serizawa in the, you know, Godzilla and, you know, the second one, because we kind of got used to him a little bit. It's why I like Madison in this movie, because I have some familiarity with her, you know, like, but these other new characters, whatever, you know, like, I thought the little girl was great. I really did, you know, and I thought she did a great job for, like, probably, like, emoting to nothing, or there must have been something there, but, like, I thought she was pretty good. But yeah, you know, like, Kong is the best actor in this movie. There's no doubt about it. It's weird, it's funny, but I think it's true, you know, and the ending is good. I'm glad, though, nobody died. Like, Godzilla didn't die, Kong almost died, whoop. But, like, I'm glad it didn't happen, because it would have been one of those things where, like, you would be like, now what? You know, like, what if, you know, Toho extends this license? And Toho has to extend this license now, right? Like, this movie got so much attention and is doing so well that it's gonna get extended. Like, Toho would be silly, Legendary would be silly not to extend the Monsterverse now. But where do you go with it? Where do you go? Like, this movie, you know, I have some problems, sure, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I've watched it twice now, and I can definitely say I enjoyed it. And, you know, like, the things that I don't like over time, I'll probably not care about. So where do we go from here? And what are we doing next with the toys? But, you know, like, because I want to know, like, you know, like, I'm looking forward to SH Monster Arts, and I'm looking forward to some sort of announcement now that the movie's out of an SH Monster Arts Mechagodzilla. I have a feeling it's going to be a Bandai Premium, but most SH Monster Arts Bandai Premiums now come over to the US, and, you know, so that's always good. But, like, what else are we going to see? What do you guys want to see as far as toys go? Like, anybody that's out here, you want to talk a little toys? This is a toy channel. So, you know, like, let me know what you would like to see. I would also like to see maybe Playmates do a little bit more of, like, a collector-friendly line, maybe. I know we're getting Super 7, but we're not 100% sure if they're going to be doing any Legendary stuff. They're doing Toho stuff for sure, so I don't know if that's going to happen. As far as these guys go, maybe a little bit of a 6-inch line with a little bit more articulation, a little bit more paint at a $20 price point, I think would be awesome. You know, if you like that, let me know. If you want to see, Playmates has done this before. Like, they've have turtle figures in the $20 price point with more articulation and stuff. So I think that's something you're going to see. I would like to see, like, that would be cool, because, you know, a $20 price point is going to be better than a, you know, Monster Arts price point. And we're not getting any NECAs, so it's like one of those things where I think Playmates doing a line like that would go a long way into fans, you know, like, really coming around to Playmates. But they should be coming around anyway, because I think they've done a great job, honestly. And if you've seen my reviews here, you know, I think they've done a great job. Definitely more movie monster series vinyls from Bandai. Yeah, let's get that a new Godzilla. You know, let's get a Mecha Godzilla. Let's get a Warbat. You know, Skullcrawler. All of them. That'd be really, really, really cool. I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see all the Titans from King of the Monsters. Sure, you know, like we know that they've done like Kong Skull. I think they have the license for everything, guys. I think Playmates has like full range, so like I would like to see it. A Mecha Godzilla that glows, man, that would be so cool. You know, we might get like some like cool vinyl from like one of these like niche companies like Marmot or something at some point. That would be so awesome. I really think I think a lot of like companies are going to be jumping on board. I think we're just skimming the surface of things we will see as far as toys go, because you know, nobody knew if this movie was going to be huge. So I think some licenses are a little bit behind. And more folks are going to be jumping aboard to do toys from this movie. Because no other Monsterverse movie has gotten this sort of press. So that's a big thing. Memein' and Dreamin'. Yo, Ultrazilla just got out of the movie. Loved it. Felt like a show era movie made today. Very happy with the final product. I agree. I mean, that's what I said early on. I feel like it follows along with King of the Monsters in that vein. It's got that more Showa, more fun feel, less attention paid to the overall plot, and you know, just it's point A to point B. You know, let's get the monsters together. Let's get them to fight. You know, let's give them a reason to fight. I thought this was a good reason. I thought it was a very good reason, and I'll say that again. You know, like I thought, you know, in the end, Godzilla's motivations are Godzilla's motivations. He is, you know, the king of the monsters. He defended his title. He did well. He was about to lose his title to Mechagodzilla when Kong came with a steel chair and whacked Mechagodzilla over the head. It's very, it's so wrestling, guys. You know, do you guys see that? The way they did it is so wrestling. Ah, man, KRS, buddy, you haven't found one yet? It's a cool toy. Yeah, man, I lucked out when I found it. I gotta say, you know, and I had a feeling it was going to be like that, and when my pal Ben of Ben's World of Transformers contacted me to tell me he just found a whole, like, fresh, newly put out stack, you know, one state over in Jersey, I got in my car. Truth be told, it was like a half hour away, so I just got in my car like right away, and I drove out there, and I just bought them because I just had a feeling it was going to happen. There is a pop glow-in-the-dark Mechagodzilla variant coming. It hasn't gone up for pre-order yet, or order. I don't know how they do at Funko. It is a Funko store exclusive, which me and Luminous have been talking about. Me and Heisenberg have been talking about. And unfortunately, like, they are riddled with bots on the FunkoStore.com. So it might not be easy to get, you know, like they do put up their exclusives at 2 p.m. EST usually, from what I've heard now. And so do pay attention to that, you know. I don't know. Like, I hope I'm able to get it. If I'm not able to get it, I'm not able to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where I would love to get it. But, you know, it's probably not something that's, and I'm actually looking at the page right now because why not? I will put the I will put it in the link in the chat. There you go. Where am I? Here we are. So I put the link in the chat. That's the page you want to pay attention to if you want the glow-in-the-dark Mechagodzilla. Now, the other pops I don't think have been released yet. They're supposed to start releasing tomorrow, I believe. We shall see if that actually happens. I have mine ordered like in a combo of like Walmart and GameStop, I believe. And Entertainment Earth. Do I have something at Entertainment Earth? I might. We'll see, but like it's those are something I do want to check out because they do look like. Oh, my voice is going. They do look pretty good. Tea is good. I'd love to see more of the Hollow Earth if more movies are made. I just love anything with that Skull Island field. Yeah, well, I think if you have another Kong movie, it's going to take place there. I could be wrong. But I would think, like you created this amazing new world and you should explore it. Like some sort of Crisis on Hollow Earth, would be really cool. Like I think it would work. Like doing something there would really work. What they could do, I don't know. But I think whatever they do, how about Biollante? Wouldn't Biollante make a lot of sense on the Hollow Earth? Like Kong versus Biollante. How about that instead of the Godzilla versus Biollante? As far as a Godzilla movie goes, there's a lot of ways you can go. But I feel like at this point, with Ghidorah happening, and then, Ghidorah continuously antagonizing Godzilla, even in this movie through Mechagodzilla, I feel like we gotta have a space invasion soon. It might sound silly, it might be silly, but like get Gigan up in here, like that would be pretty awesome to see. Like I would like to see it. These movies are silly enough. We already know Ghidorah came from space, so some sort of space invasion movie wouldn't be bad. Gigan is a great villain. So something I would like to see. I don't want to see space Godzilla, like I really don't. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Gigan. I think that would be very, very, very cool. Yeah, that's right. There is the Netflix Skull Island series, which is interesting since Kong is no longer there, and I guess that's why they would do it, so they don't waste Kong. I think that's interesting. I forgot about that. I forgot that that's going to be a thing. I've said this before, but like the great thing about the Monsterverse is it doesn't necessarily have to be from Toho, right? Like we could possibly get like Gamera in this universe or another monster, and that would be incredible. I would love to see Gamera part of this universe. Maybe the Monsterverse is where we could finally get a Gamera versus Godzilla movie. Maybe Gamera's the next alpha. I don't know. Like it's just something, to think about. I would love to see it. Yes, it's a Mecha Kevin. Guys, with the Kevin is like, it's too much. It's too much, guys. It's too much. But I think we got a lot of cool things to happen. I think we got a lot of cool toys that we're going to see this year. Keep following me on my Facebook page and through the Ultra Z News here. I will report new stuff as it happens. I haven't even yet reported here with the new Prime 1 Studios statue, which looks incredible. I will talk about that, but I'm sure we're going to have even more stuff. So I'm probably Gargantuas would be incredible. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like Gargantuas would actually be really, really fun, I think, in this universe. But I wonder if we would see another Titan get his own movie. Like I think Mothra is ripe for the picking. I think a new Mothra movie would actually really work. And you have Mothra face a bad guy, like an evil monster of some sort. So yeah, there's ways you could go, guys. There's definitely ways you could go. You want to pitch for Monsterverse Godzilla versus Gamera? I once had one, but it was way before like we knew what was going on here. And you know, like my initial idea was, you know, Kong. This is before we even knew Mechagodzilla was in this. Kong, Godzilla battle to, you know, and this is when I thought maybe Godzilla might be out of this Monsterverse after this. But what I was saying was, what I was thinking was, it would have been so awesome if Godzilla versus Kong fought to the like death, you know, and then like as Kong wins, Godzilla lay dying, like a horde of other kaiju attack, you know, are coming to attack to pick the bones of the two alphas, and Kong gets up, steals himself, gets ready, and then like Godzilla like tries to get up, can't, and then like in the corner of his eye, you see something coming in from the sky, and it's something that's circling, and lands, and it's Gamera, and Gamera stands ready to fight with Kong and Godzilla versus whatever. So that was my kind of pitch for Gamera getting into the universe a while back. You know, like you end Kong versus Godzilla with that. Obviously, not something in the plans, but that's how I would, you know, I would do it. As far as now, I would probably still keep, you know, like I would still keep the alien invasion idea. I think that's where you go next. And you know, some either Gigan or like the first line of their attack lands in the ocean and awakens Gamera, who I don't think it would be more Gamera. You know, like I would love to see it, but I don't want like a repeat of. I really don't want a repeat of Godzilla versus Kong. I want it established that Gamera's like not trying to fight Godzilla at any point, like, but be a kind of like, you know, like a Rodan, you know, like an ally, or, you know, just subservient, you know, not really, you know, just bows to Godzilla already. Because I just don't want to see that, you know, I'd rather not see it. But, you know, like, I think that would be a good way to go, where Gamera is woken up to help in the fight with Godzilla. You know, I think that would be something cool. So, whoa, this guy wants to fall down again. And only because I hit him. Ultrazilla, any chance are you gonna be getting those GVK chocolates and hot sauce? I got some that will be sitting in the freezer for years and years. I don't think so. I don't know if I'm gonna be getting any of that. If I get them, I'm gonna eat them, and but you know, like, I don't know. You know, pay attention to my Instagram though. You never know what I'll get. What do you think next film in the Monsterverse will be about? I honestly, you know, I feel like we're gonna get a Mothra movie. I think you let Godzilla rest a little bit, and you give us a Mothra movie. I think that's a good way to go. I think people would like to see it. I really do. I think it would do decently. Put Rodan in it too, but like make Mothra the main attraction. I think that would be very, very cool. That is a long time, Steve. That is a very long time. Can you make a video about my pitch? Wow. Sure. Enjoy. Yes, do it, please. Aliens in silver suits and thin sunglasses. I'm on board. Even if it's not possible, how could Ghost Godzilla and Bag and fit into Monsterverse? You know what? Those are two things that Godzilla fandom, honestly likes way more than I ever liked. Like 2 concept characters that I just don't want anything to do with. So I don't think Baggin ever looked cool in any way. I mean, you could make it cool, but not a big fan. And the whole idea of Ghost Godzilla, the only Ghost Godzilla I like is Kiryu. So I think that was done well. Which is kind of like, I feel like in a way, inspiration for this Ghidorah Mechagodzilla here, controlled. But yeah, again, you've heard people talk how they want to combine Pacific Rim with this universe, and it would be in Legendary's best interest to do so, because I think Pacific Rim movies on their own at this point might not work. But if you start... Whoa, okay, he's staying down. But if you start over and make what's happened so far in the Monsterverse the basis of creating the Jaegers, and then have the what's it called? The thing that opens up where the kaiju come out, the alien kaiju. Hey, there you go. There's an alien invasion. Duh. You got your alien invasion right there. Like the Pacific Rim plot in this universe could start underneath the sea, which would help wake up Gamera, which could be a destroy all monsters type scenario. Right? So there you go, guys. I do like Zilla. Okay, how about Zilla? I like Zilla. I do like Zilla. I think I'm going to end it here. I don't think I can talk anymore, even with the drink. But I hope you enjoyed this little... I'm not going to call it a review, just a talk, because I don't really review movies like this. I used to review movies back in the day, but I don't really talk, I don't really want to call it a movie review, just a talk about everything I've said what I was going to talk about. We did it. So thanks for joining in, guys. I hope you appreciated this. If you didn't see GVK and are curious now, you should go see it, because it's fun. If you have HBO Max, pop it on. If you want to go to movies, please be safe out there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Oh, you know what? Yeah, okay. No, I did Memeing and Dreaming. I thought I didn't answer your last question, but it was about the hot sauce. But yeah, like, I enjoyed the movie. I'm definitely going to be watching it again and again until April 30th. And then I'll definitely buy it at some point. It was a cool movie. I did have some problems with it, but it wasn't any problem that I'm going to say is like detrimental to my enjoyment overall. So it did enough. It keeps you engaged pretty much throughout, and that's really all you can ask for from these movies. I feel, like, yeah, people want, like, the drama sometimes, and they want their kaiju movies to be respected. To each their own is all I'm gonna say about that. Really, that's not what I'm going for, and I've loved kaiju since I was tiny, so there you go, guys. Thanks for joining me. Till next time, peace out, peeps.